Hello everyone and welcome back to Elon Musk's Signal. Once a dominant space power, Russia's space industry has recently been overshadowed by the breakthroughs of its competitors. However, positive signs are emerging as Russia reveals its new generation of reusable rockets. The leaders of Russia's space program confidently assert that their new rockets will make the reusability of SpaceX's Falcon 9, a point of pride for the company, look insignificant. So, what exactly is Russia's new superweapon? Could this be the ace that helps Russia reclaim its position in the space race? Is it truly superior to the Falcon 9? Let's dive into these questions in today's video. Russia's space industry is in serious decline. Several factors contribute to this situation, including an outdated rocket fleet, government budget cuts, and the war in Ukraine causing Western clients to turn away. Meanwhile, SpaceX, the aerospace company founded by billionaire Elon Musk, has become a rising force in the space industry with impressive achievements, particularly the introduction of the Falcon 9 rocket. With its reusability, Falcon 9 has brought about a major turning point, reducing launch costs and unlocking vast potential for future space missions. However, Russia is no longer intimidated by SpaceX's advancements. This aerospace giant is quietly developing the Amur SPG rocket, which is expected to become a worthy competitor to the Falcon 9. In a recent speech to students at the Tsiolkovsky State Museum of the History of Cosmonautics, located south of Moscow, Roscosmos Director General Yuri Borisov emphasized Russia's new Amur CNG rocket. He highlighted that it is expected to surpass SpaceX's Falcon 9, America's star, in the field of reusable rockets. According to Borisov, while the Falcon 9 is typically reused about 10 times, the first stage of the Amur CNG, which employs advanced methane oxygen fuel technology, can be reused up to 50 or even 100 times. This advantage alone is enough to offset the development costs of the new rocket, Borisov enthusiastically shared. It seems Borisov is trying to reassure those questioning why SpaceX has launched over 30 rockets in 2024, while Russia has only completed about 6 launches. However, his statements seem a bit overly optimistic compared to the current reality. SpaceX's Falcon 9 has reached impressive milestones in rocket launches. Is the Roscosmos director deliberately ignoring SpaceX's records? Elon Musk, CEO of SpaceX, also responded dismissively by commenting under an article about this issue. He simply tweeted one word, "Bring it on," demonstrating his absolute confidence in the Falcon 9's capabilities. Through its achievements, especially its unprecedented records, SpaceX has proven its leadership. Why is Elon Musk so confident? Firstly, regarding reuse, SpaceX hasn't just stopped at 10 launches for the Falcon 9's first stage, they have recently reused it up to 20 times. Meanwhile, Russia has never reused any rocket stage. Secondly, regarding the Amur CNG rocket, which uses compressed natural gas as fuel, this rocket still only exists on paper. Russia has been promising the Amur CNG for 4 years, claiming it can deliver 10.5 tons of payload to low Earth orbit at a cost of just $22 million. It sounds impressive, but the problem is that this rocket doesn't yet exist in reality. Since 2020, Roscosmos and the RSC Progress Space Rocket Center have signed a contract to develop the preliminary design for the Amur Launch Complex, Russia's first reusable methane rocket. This rocket's first stage is reusable and will be launched from the Vostochny Cosmodrome in the Amur region. However, at a glance, it's evident that the Amur has borrowed quite a bit from the Falcon 9, currently the first and only reusable rocket by SpaceX. In March 2023, Roscosmos announced it would continue developing the Amur LNG launch vehicle, which uses reusable methane fuel. The technical design is expected to be completed by the end of this year. Nikolai Nestachuk, director of the Center for Operation of Ground-Based Space Infrastructure, TSNKI, part of Roscosmos, stated that the technical design for the Amur LNG launch site is anticipated to be finished by November. This area could be constructed near the Angara rocket launch site. The claims about Russia's Amur rocket sound appealing. But why do they still leave experts skeptical? Russia announced that the Amur would debut in 2026. However, Borisov has recently hinted that this timeline might be pushed back to 2028 or 2029. For those following the rocket launch industry, what does this mean? It simply indicates that the Amur's hardware has not been built yet, and all development plans are still theoretical. There's even a possibility that this rocket might never materialize. Even if we assume that the Amur will be launched around 2030, remember that it took SpaceX over 5 years after the launch of the Falcon 9 to successfully land the first stage. It took an additional 5 years for the company, known for its rapid development, to begin regularly reusing the boosters. Ultimately, it took 14 years for the first Falcon 9 rocket to reach 20 flights. Therefore, even if Russia launches the Amur in the next 5 years, in the best-case scenario, we can only expect Roscosmos to reuse a booster 20 times by the mid-2040s. In summary, while Mr. Borisov's statements sound promising, the reality is that Russia's reusable rocket technology is still in the conceptual stage. Besides the doubts about the feasibility of the Amur CNG rocket, there is another reason to question its development potential, especially given that Russia is diverting significant resources to the war in Ukraine. In fact, there are reports that Russia is even mobilizing Roscosmos employees for the war effort. The main reason relates to the painful experience with the Angara rocket, approved for development by the Russian government in 1992. After the Soviet Union's collapse, the Angara rocket did not make its first test flight until 2014. As of early May 2024, the Angara is still only conducting test flights and has yet to carry valuable payloads into orbit. Given that it took 30 years to design, build, and test the Angara, which employs relatively traditional technology, how much time will Roscosmos need to develop the Amur, a more complex rocket requiring vertical landing and reusability? This question raises significant concerns about the feasibility of the Amur project and whether it might become another, second Angara. As for SpaceX's Falcon 9, this rocket is dominating space at an astonishing pace. Falcon 9 has completed over 330 launches, successfully landing more than 300 times, and reusing the first stage 271 times, just in the first quarter of this year alone. At this rate, SpaceX is aiming for an ambitious target: 148 launches in 2024, 1.5 times more than last year. Recently, they amazed the world by successfully landing a booster for the 20th time, a new record for reusability. And they are setting even more ambitious goals, certifying the rocket for 40 landings, or possibly even more. Not only does SpaceX dominate in terms of the number of launches, but they also outpace their competitors in speed. Their turnaround time between launches is incredibly fast, allowing them to race towards their ambitious goals. In other words, SpaceX is soaring in the rocket industry, while others are still struggling to keep up. It seems Roscosmos is no different. Despite their confident statements in the press, the reality shows they are bewildered by SpaceX's achievements. If Roscosmos remains stuck in the past, they won't be able to keep up with the rapid advancements in the aerospace industry. What about you? Do you have high hopes for Russia's new booster rocket? Leave a comment below. Don't forget to like, share the video, and subscribe to the Elon Musk Signal channel to keep up with exciting news about technology and cars. Goodbye, and see you in the next video.